downstairs getting brewed coffee, and she called me and said that she's bleeding again and a lot. How much?
More than the other times. It's so like gushing, little gushes. There's a lot of blood.
So they're gonna monitor babies for a little while
They're getting an ultrasound machine.
to find them.
No, they have both heartbeats.
They're getting ultrasound. What for? Oh.
Just look at them, make sure they look okay. I don't know. It's like I feel okay being here, and then when I bleed again, it's like all the reality comes back. You know, like
I know, it's been 4 days. We were holding on to hope that babies would stay in.
it was starting to feel like there was like it wasn't gonna be this emergency.
Here they come. Okay, so what you missed, there's a huge flurry of people in and out. Big flurry. Everyone's been in this morning. And we're monitoring the babies, and they look good. She's getting some magnesium in case the babies do come, and that actually helps protect their brains if they come imminently. And now we're just kind of hanging out. So,
There were two reasons.
yeah, one is if the babies don't look good,
Right.
which
They
they've
look great.
looked good all along, and if you bleed a significant volume in a short amount of time, you'll have a C-section. So we're just watching.
But they've prepped me for a C-section, basically.
They've done a little prep for a C-section.
You're so funny. Everything I say, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. They rushed in here. They got me ready. They gave me more IV ports. And they have me hooked up to magnesium to protect the babies. So that's like the first step towards the emergency C-section, I guess. Or, yeah, if there is going to be one. I don't know. Magnesium makes you really loopy.
Not loopy, sleepy.
Sleepy.
Oop. I'm recording video, not taking pictures.
Well,
That's
you
fine.
need-
I can take some pictures. Those are beautiful little hats.
You could video for a minute.
I'm videoing.
Oh. You are?
I took some pictures too.
My
though.
mom made these little hats yesterday in case the babies come early, and brought them to me today.
They're so pretty. Show
Really
the hearts
bless
on
me.
them.
Yeah, show them up close.
They're so nice.
The kids need us, so they can call us anytime.
Okay.
And if they're fussing or fighting and you don't know how to deal with it, you can have them call us. So
I will.
that's honestly the only thing I'm worried about, is that they're gonna be fussing at each other.
Your mom visit.
It was so nice, and then this was like the biggest surprise. She was worried that it would make me sad, because you know that kind of represents them coming early, but
Yeah.
it makes me feel like I have something for them, even though, yeah, they probably won't wear them for the first little bit, but actually it just, yeah, sometimes you just need your mom, you know?
That's nice. Well, the day's ticking by.
Yeah, it's actually, the bleeding is way better, which means no emergency C-section right now. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. This morning was very scary. I don't know how else to say
You
it.
just never know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
And they make it clear that bad things could happen next because they could.
Yeah.
Because they've seen this so many times.
Yeah. I actually feel like, honestly, the hospital is incredible at communication.
They've done really good. At least not this time. They've done really good.
I'm more than impressed and feel, even though this morning was really scary, I was prepared. I'd already been told over the last 5 days that this is what this would look like.
Hey, Grace is calling him to answer. Were you sleeping?
I have been, but I was
Are you bleeding?
I mean, maybe a little, but mostly I'm just in that stage where they constantly monitor.
Do you know if you're allowed to eat, or do you want to wait a little while? Maybe I can go out there and eat if you want.
Yeah, they said clear liquids only.
Do you want me to eat outside the room? I could be back. I can eat down there.
What'd you get?
Well, I don't want to tell you that information.
Is it from the cafeteria?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. You can eat in here.
Are you sure?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'd rather hang out with you.
I'm hungry. So I'm gonna eat. I guess they're saying some of this haze is from the California fires. It's not normally this bad. Those mountains out there are only about 10 miles off and they're just almost invisible. New bed?
I'm getting a new bed. I get to keep my amazing room, but I get a better bed. Here it is. Here it is.
New bed?
Yeah, here it comes.
I better move. Most people complain about like all the time is when you're like, yes, bring it in. I'll take that one. Though the new mattresses are not too bad. On a scale from McDonald's to Chick-fil-A, no.
This isn't a fast food bed or a fast food room.
How are you feeling about all this? Where are we at now?
Really, I know it seems so boring.
No, do we move up to Olive Garden? Help me out.
Oh.
Something I can understand.
It's a local restaurant.
No way.
The other bed was like painful. This one isn't.
So we left all the fast food behind.
Yeah. It's a good salad with steak on it.
That's awesome.
You know, it's not a gourmet meal, but it's a good meal.
That's ironic considering you're on a clear liquids diet at the moment.
I am on a clear liquids.
And you're talking about steak.
Salad. I am on a clear liquids diet, but I discovered this watermelon juice. Holy cow.
That is good.
It was so good. I felt nourished by it. Can't eat watermelon, but I can drink watermelon juice.
Awesome.
Really, really yummy. And then it had some bone broth that someone brought me.
That's nice. Hot bone broth.
It was hot. Yeah, it was good. It was just what I needed.
Good.
So, how are you feeling? I'm exhausted, but I am just relieved because this morning was really scary. It was scarier even than Sunday night.
Yeah.
So, I feel really relieved. I'm still bleeding. Unfortunately, it hasn't stopped, but it's not going so fast that they're like rushing me back to surgery, which is what it felt like was happening this morning. I mean, that's what was being said, so. Another day in the hospital. Thankful to be here. Wish I wasn't here. Thankful to be here.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. But today we're 27 and 6.
That's correct.
So tomorrow we're 28. And that's what everyone says is we just hold on to every single day. Every single day is like.
28's one of those, you cross that line, 28's like one of the big milestone markers, or has been historically for NICU.
Yeah, and I feel like the lady in NICU told me though that 28 is a really good number and it's even really good still with twins, but that I feel like she told me that twins can be, you know, a little bit smaller, so they have a little bit harder time. So we want them in longer for sure.
Cool.
Just glad we're not under the emergency we were this morning. That is probably one of the scaredest hours of my life.
This morning.
This morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really scary.
Bree has some friends visiting. Things are pretty chill. So I'm taking a little break. She kicked me out. She didn't kick me out. She just says, go take a break. I've got people with me, but I'm staying within like a 5-minute drive or less. Really close. So I'm gonna just find some sort of little adventure here. Hopefully stay out of trouble. Yeah. I'm not sure if I could bring myself to swim in this water. I'm spoiled with mountain streams. It's like totally opaque. But it's almost 90 degrees, so I'm not sure if I can resist at the same time jumping in pretty cool water. I found a spot that's pretty nice here. It's kind of loud. This guy's smart because he brought his bike so he can run the river one way with his family and then ride his bike back to his car. It's where the French Broad River and the Swannanoa River here join. And I was in the clean water of the Swannanoa River. It's a visible difference. It's muddy out there and it's clean here. It's all pretty nasty though. You can actually see the difference. I don't know if you can see it right here. Probably can't see it with the reflection, but here's the clean water, there's the dirty water. All right, Bree's texted me. Her friends are still there, but they're leaving soon, so I'm gonna head back to the hospital. It's the first day that for several days I'm not going back to see the kids, and it's because Bree had that episode this morning that kind of scared us, and I just needed to be with her today, so we arranged for the kids to stay longer with the folks they were with last night, and then her mom's got them tonight, is taking really good care of them. Kind of interesting, this is where I went to nursing school, literally right here. The building was right at the top of this hill. They have torn it down. And I view nursing school as actually, it's as much a 2-year, well, I'm talking about a technical nursing school, my experience, it's as much a 2-year hazing ritual just as BUDS is to the Navy SEALs essentially a screening tool, a very powerful screening tool to weed out the weak as it is in education. I'm not trying to compare nursing school really to Navy SEAL training, but it's a selection as much as an education. That's how it seems the administrators and professors viewed it, weeding out people who weren't appropriate. So if you're in nursing school, you have my condolences right now. It's a mind game. The tests are all different. It's all about thinking the correct way, and they in my view, they try to play tricks on you, essentially. It was a mess. But you make it through, and then you get your education on the floor. But that's where I did all of my nursing training, right there, where that field is now. How's it going?
I'm so tired and hungry.
You worn out?
I'm so worn out.
How have the technical things been going?
Everything's good. No, my bleeding stopped.
Great.
It hasn't. This is the first time I can say that since 7 this morning.
That's great news.
Yeah, so almost 12 hours.
Yay. Great.
Did you get a haircut?
No, I just jumped in the river.
Oh, okay.
Got a tattoo though.
I hope you're not telling the truth.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Okay, you're still on a clear liquid diet. Which one of these do you want? Beef, chicken.
Ooh, they both sound really good.
Do the chicken, it has fat in it.
Oh yeah, I need the fat really bad.
More.
I want the fat.
Okay. Yeah, the chicken broth has way more calories, less protein, and more fat. Hey guys, if you're taking care of family members in the hospital that are on a clear liquid diet, get them some really good broth, because on a clear liquids diet they can drink broth, but the broth that a hospital brings them is more similar to a bouillon, and it has no protein in it. And this has a ton of protein in every serving.
Fat or calories.
I don't think it has fat. It's literally salt and flavoring. Unless I'm deeply mistaken about how they make their broth, but I don't think I am. This is actually legitimately food. Dinner is served. Ready, we just had a meeting. What happened? Good news.
It was a good meeting. Here's the thing about this condition, is it changes constantly.
Let's get a little light.
Quite a bit of light.
Yeah, see the light.
Yeah. So here's the thing about this condition. The condition I'm having has nothing to do with having twins. It just has to do with where my placenta decided to grow, which is directly over my cervix. So I have something called bleeding placenta previa. It's very, very, very dangerous. It's one of the more high-risk situations you can be in. Therefore, you stay in the hospital even when everything's fine, because then suddenly everything's not fine. Like this morning was not fine. The other crazy thing with this condition is that it can stop and everything can be fine again. And you just never know when the time it's going to be a total emergency. They thought that was this morning.
Well, the words they use for that, I've been reading actually a lot about it this afternoon. The words they use for that are massive sudden hemorrhage. And that's the risk, and it can happen because the placenta is like probably the most vascular part of your anatomy, even though placenta is not part of your anatomy.
Not forever, but it is right now.
Yeah, so it's like the potential for massive bleeding is enormous, and when you bleed from your placenta, when you have placenta previa, potentially you could bleed massively at any time. So that's why we're sitting around in the hospital.
And sometimes I look like nothing's happening, and sometimes I look like there's tubes and stuff all in me. It's constantly changing.
There is nothing else where you can be so well and sit in the hospital for so many weeks. And someone can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm just saying, like, 99% of hospital care is if things aren't going wrong now, you're out the door. And they're like, no, you're gonna stay for a week more because you had a little bleeding this morning.
Yeah.
Which is totally weird. It's a weird perspective.
But it's the right one.
No, it totally makes sense. It's for a reason. It's because people massively bleed from bleeding placenta previa.
Right. So if you see us on here and everything looks great and we're just sad because we miss our kids, it's because that's just the way this goes. And we're on the same roller coaster. Yeah, we're on that roller coaster. We are that roller coaster. So, but right now, this morning was one of the more terrifying experiences of my life. And I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad I'm still pregnant.
That's right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. I think this video's over. We'll we'll update you tomorrow at least as to what's going on. Hopefully nothing is going on, and we're just sitting here. Hopefully I can go back and see the kids tomorrow.
That's the plan.
Big plan. All right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Oops, I wasn't filming the whole time. Dang it.
The whole time?
Yeah.
Do we have to redo all that?
I'm just joking.